I don't understand. Why would Eric say something like that? Thorne proposed to me. He married me.
I don't get it, Macy. What exactly did they say?
They said that it was lucky that I showed up in Venice when I did. And that they did something to break Thorne and broke up somehow.
Broke them up. Brooke and Thorne weren't dating. It was just a fling.
Not according to Eric. He made it sound like they were going to get married.
Get married? Macy, that is ridiculous. They sat on the plane together. They did some sightseeing, that's all.
And it couldn't have been more than that.
Well, I wasn't with them the entire time, but... Macy, no, you're not buying this, are you?
I don't know what to think. All I know is that Eric said that Thorne was on the rebound. And that his proposal was just some sort of knee-jerk reaction. Oh, Kimberly, and they were not speculating either. They were certain that Thorne never meant to marry me.
Can't tell you how good it is to see you and Macy back together. I mean, I know you waited a long time for this.
I think if anyone knows how to hang in there, it's you, pal.
I'm trying to be patient, Thorne. I really am, you know?
You're ready to take this to the next level, aren't you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Kimberly isn't. God, I feel like such a lech.
You're not a lech, Rick. You're a normal teenager in love with a beautiful girl, and there's nothing wrong with that, provided you respect her.
Oh, I do. I mean, I'm not gonna push her. It's her call.
Good man. Your mother raised you well. How is she anyway?
There you are. Where have you been hiding yourself?
Oh, in the garden.
Really? Something on your mind, then?
You know me too well.
Well, if you're worried about Ridge, don't. He's coming home tomorrow.
Oh, good. He say anything?
Nothing much, really. Although I got the impression that something was bothering him.
He's upset with me.
Why is that?
Morgan. I knew this girl was going to be a problem.
And you told Ridge that, didn't you? And that's why he's upset? Stephanie, Ridge is a grown man. He has 3 wonderful children and a very successful marriage. He doesn't need to be reminded of that.
It's not Ridge that needs the reminding, Eric.
So you still think that Morgan has designs on Ridge?
I don't know what the hell her designs are, but I know whatever they are, they're not going to benefit this family or our company.
You really don't like her, do you? What has she done? What is it about Morgan that bothers you so much?
I still can't believe it. I mean, my mother has always been overly protective of our family. There's nothing she wouldn't do for us. But to just pressure a 17-year-old girl into having an abortion, and then to keep it a secret all that time.
Look, I begged her to let me tell you, but she wouldn't let me. She said that you wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care? I wouldn't care that you were pregnant with our child?
A child that you weren't ready to have.
Is that what she told you? That's how she convinced you to do it, isn't it?
Ridge, look, I trusted Stephanie. I trusted her up until the moment she took me to the plane. I really, honestly believed that she was trying to take care of me and help me, but she wasn't. Stephanie didn't give a damn about me or her baby.
Mom seemed okay last time I talked to her. Why? I mean, is there something wrong?
No, Rick. I just think she could use your company right now. She misses you, you know?
You too, I bet.
Me?
Well, yeah, you guys were best friends before he married Macy. It's gotta be weird for her just suddenly being the third wheel. And it's not just you either. You know, Dad and Stephanie are back together. Ridge and Taylor are taking care of the kids. I'm dating Kimberly. You're a newlywed. You know, now that you mention it, she's gotta be feeling pretty left out. I should have realized that.
Hey, Rick, I wasn't trying to make you feel guilty,
Oh,
man.
I know. You're looking out for her, and I totally appreciate that. You're a good friend, Thorne, and Mom's really lucky to have you in her life.
Macy, Thorne loves you. That's why he proposed to you. Everybody knows that.
Eric and Ridge don't know that.
Well, you misunderstood them.
No, I didn't. No, they were very clear that Thorne's proposal was a reaction, some sort of impulse.
Okay, I will admit it was a little impulsive. I mean, tracking you down at the airport and taking you to Amsterdam. Maybe that's exactly what Eric and Ridge were talking about.
No, I don't think so. I really get the feeling that Thorne was hurt, that he was running from something. I mean, think about it. Eric said that Ridge did something to take Thorne away from Brooke.
Well, Eric wasn't even there, Macy.
But he knew about it. And they both agreed that if Ridge hadn't done this thing, then Thorne wouldn't have chosen me. That he'd be married to Brooke.
No, you cannot believe that,
I don't
Macy.
want to believe it. But when I think about it, I mean, Thorne was upset when I found him in Venice. I mean, he was standing alone on a bridge in the pouring rain. I mean, the way he was acting. I mean, he barely said a word to me on that bridge. And I left. I thought it was over between us, and he follows me to the airport, and he wants to start a life with me. Oh my God, what if he was on the
Macy,
rebound?
please stop this. Thorne did not propose to you because he was on the rebound.
You don't know that. You don't know that. What if they were right?
About what? Thorne and Brooke? Macy, you suspected they were together months ago. And you went to Venice simply to warn Thorne about her. So maybe it was more serious than you thought. So what? Macy, he married you. He loves you, and you know that.
Well, I thought I did, but Eric and Ridge said...
No, Macy, they weren't there. Okay, they didn't hear what he said to you in Amsterdam. Thorne worked so hard to convince you to marry him. Does that sound impulsive to you? No, Macy, stop this. You stop, okay? You just forget about what you heard. Forget about what they said. Just tell me one thing. Has Thorne done anything to make you question his love for you?
No,
Okay, then stop this, Macy. You are getting yourself all worked up over nothing. Don't do this to yourself.
It's not what she's done. It's what she could do.
Look, I'll admit that when Brooke signed her on, I was wary of Morgan DeWitt. But I've worked with her now, and she's there. I have a tendency to want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
So it doesn't bother you that she's off in Paris with your son?
No, it doesn't. They have a lot of work to do.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, what are you talking about? I mean, you obviously think that she's up to something. Now, what would that be?
Well, don't you think it's a little odd? I mean, she shows up after all of these years in Los Angeles and wants to work for our company. And then she makes friends with Taylor and takes off to Paris with her husband.
That's what's bothering you about all this, isn't it? It's not that she's a danger to Forrester Creations. It's that she shares a history with Ridge.
Well, it's something to consider, isn't it?
I don't think so, not really. I'm certainly not going to worry about one of Ridge's old girlfriends, especially one that left him so many years ago.
I know you think I'm being overly protective, but Eric, you don't arrive at the place that she is in this industry by being a nice person. She's ambitious and she's cunning, and it would be a mistake to underestimate her.
All right. I'll keep my guard up.
Well, good. Eric, I believe that she's unstable. And because of that, there's no telling what she's capable of.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. I mean, you didn't know.
I still feel responsible. I feel like if I hadn't said to you way back then that I wasn't ready for children, I just think maybe there's a chance that
No, there's just too many maybes, Rich. Believe me, I've gone down that list a million times, and nothing will change what happened.
Morgan, what did happen? After you left, I mean.
You don't want to know about that.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I want to understand.
I don't know if you can. I was a 17-year-old girl suffering through all this loss and everything, and I had no one to talk to.
But my mother sent you home. You didn't have your family to confide in?
Ridge, I grew up in a very religious family. They would have been horrified. I was horrified. I had destroyed the most precious gift that I had ever been given. And the reality of that, well, I mean, I almost lost it. I had 2 nervous breakdowns. I suffered from eating disorders and depression.
You got over that?
No, I just learned how to live with it, that's all. There's still the emptiness. And then there's all the questions.
What questions?
What would he have been like? Would he have had your eyes? And your mouth? Somehow I knew that it was a boy. You know, he would be a smart, handsome, strong young man right now. The best of both of us. Look, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be bothering you with this right now, but I've waited so long to tell you this.
This has to be so hard for you to do.
Actually, it's kind of a relief. Gets it off my shoulders. I mean, I've been carrying this terrible secret around for so long. You are the most compassionate and understanding man that I have ever met, Ridge Forrester. And you would have been a really great father to our child.
Thank you.
For what?
Being honest with me wasn't very easy for me to hear, but I'm glad that I know all this now.
So am
I guess I better get back to the office and get some more work done. I'll see you later.
Macy, are you listening to me? Thorne made the right decision. He married you, and even Eric and Ridge know that.
They did say that Brooke wasn't good for him.
But you are, Macy, and that's why he married you.
You're right. You're right. Why am I getting so worked up over this? Brooke is not a problem for us anymore. And I'm not going to let her become one. I am never going to mention her name in this house or to Thorne ever again.
Because you know that Thorne loves you, Macy.
He loves me.
And I'm sure he tells you that all the time.
Well, he did when we were first married. But lately, since we've been home, he...
Yep, that's what I love
Okay, here
about
they
living
are.
at the beach, though. It's hot during the day and cold at night. Speaking of which, you guys had the right idea staying inside.
Yeah, I should have brought a windbreaker.
Well, I can get you one. What do you say, Mace? I grab yours, too. It's been a while since we've had a walk on the beach. What's this for?
I love you.
I love you, too, honey.
Do you?
Of course I do, silly. What is this all about?
Nothing. Nothing.
Hello?
Morgan? It's Stephanie. I'd like to speak with Ridge, please.
He's out. And I really don't think that he would want to talk to you right now.
Is this some silly idea you have in your head about revenge? You're going to try and turn my son against me?
No, I had no intention of telling Ridge anything, not about you or the abortion. I wanted to keep this relationship professional, but he keeps on...
Morgan. Ridge has moved on with his life. Don't you think it's time that you did the same thing?
There you go again, trying to tell me what to do with my life. Well, I am not 17 years old, and I've learned it's best not to listen to you. And so has Ridge.
Ridge is a happily married man with a wonderful family. He doesn't need you complicating his life.
Don't you dare talk to me about family. If you didn't do what you did to me, I might be raising a family with Ridge right now.
What the hell are you talking about? Have you got some fantasy in your mind? Nothing is going to happen between the two of you. As a matter of fact, I think it'd be a total waste of your time even to return to Los Angeles.
No, I am not leaving L.A., okay? You may have been able to push me out of town when I was 17 years old, but you know what? I have had time to think about this, and I have had years to prepare for this very moment. I am in control, and I am calling the shots, Stephanie.
Morgan, you're making a big mistake.
No, Stephanie. You made a big mistake. And all these years later, you are finally going to pay.